following my less is more concept. Earlier I talked about overwhelming and drowning my audience, and I was putting a lot out there, and people were getting irritated. Not irritated at me, or not irritated because I have a lot of stuff out there. They just weren't watching it. They didn't care. Nobody cared because, oh, it's another thing. Or, it's just, it was too much. There was too much, honestly. And so that kind of made me realize that I needed to make this podcast shift into the direction of what it originally was built for. What made this podcast matter? Real conversations, real stories, and real growth. That's my foundation for this podcast. That's I'm going to be leaning into a little bit more of my interviews again, and really focusing on making those interviews really impactful and matter. And the personal stories that I'm sharing, the Couch to Champion series, and the reviews I'm doing on the Beyond the Gear series, those are really more now for, not because, not me just talking, but really helping you understand and realize and learn from the things that I am learning as I go along the way. And the reviews, they're there to help you see and understand and learn from the products. Is it really working? Is it really not? Help you develop your own opinions. When I started doing this, and this was the beginning of April, when I implemented all this, the podcast and the journey, it felt fun again, like it used to. I had a blast. And being honest and upfront, it gave me a new energy, a second wind, so to speak. I feel better about recording this stuff now. Today, when I came in here to record, I was excited again. And I felt like, this is really going to matter now. Not only that, it's going to help my message be presented better anyway, because my heart is in the words that I'm saying just as much as my mind and my physical body are here as well. I'm pouring out not just my knowledge, but my experience and my passion. And you guys are seeing that. So when you learn to slow down and shift the focus to making an impact with each post, not meeting a quota, it's going to resonate better. People don't just hear you at that point. They connect with you on a deeper level. Because like I said, people respond to passion. People recognize the heart in everything that you're putting out there. Every short that I've been putting out from learning this on has been strategically selected because of the message that it gives out. Not just because it's another short that I can put out, and that has made it so much better. People, I've grown very small, but I have, had some increase because of that increase in views, and even an increase in people following, which is amazing. That's what this is here for, so that people learn. So I'm fired up. I'm ready to go. Not to the point where I'm going to burn myself out again and repeat the process, but I'm excited about it, but I'm also giving myself time to do other things and enjoy other things that I enjoy. I'm doing this because I enjoy it now, rather than I'm doing it because I want to grow and build a business. I do have a full-time job, and to be honest, I don't really need the money. So I can give my heart into this and not worry about anything else. So I've got a little formula that I use to kind of help you avoid burnout or recoup from burnout. So first step is to stop, recognize the signs. Don't wait until you crash out. Notice when the weight starts to feel heavier than usual. For me, it was, March. I started really feeling like, God, I didn't want to be here. I was only here doing it because I had to. It wasn't because I wanted to. That's when you'll notice when it starts feeling heavy, and it starts when it starts feeling like, this isn't working. I have to. It just becomes a drag at that point. So stop. Recognize the signs. Normally, it's resistance or dread or heaviness or things like that. Next step is to rest. Step away with intention, whether it's a full break for a month or a week, a lighter week. Just allow your mind and your body time to recover. Nobody who works out ever works out 6 to 7 days a week. If they do, then they're not doing it right. always take time to rest. Always take time to recoup. You know, breathe. You have to breathe a little, because if you don't, you're going to burn out, like I mentioned earlier. So rest is vitally important. Mental rest, physical rest, even spiritual rest. Rest in the Lord. You know, let him speak to you. Let him download. It doesn't always have to be you offloading. Let him download. And just enjoy the silence a little bit. Breathe. Next step is to reevaluate. Look at what's working and what's not working. Is your pace sustainable? You know, is it something that you can keep up with for a long period of time? When I approach a deadlift, how I select my weight is, can I lift this weight for 12 reps in a row? It has nothing to do with what is my PR. It has nothing to do with, you know, how much weight can I lift any day of the week. It's how do I feel right now, and can I sustain that? Can I lift that weight for 12 reps and not burn myself out? So focus on your pace. Is it sustainable? Is it working? If it's not, you don't need it, or slow it down, or cut it back. And is it aligned with your vision? Is it going to help you get to the end result? Is it going to help you get to that vision? Is it going to propel you forward, or is it just there because it's something that you added for the heck of it? You know, everything that you're doing has to drive you further towards your vision, towards your goals. So reevaluate. And lastly, revamp. Adjust the plan. Come back with a smarter rhythm, a clearer focus, and an easier process. You know, change your systems. Like I did. Instead of putting out a short every day, now I put one out maybe a few times a week. If even that, maybe only 2 a week. You know, I cut it way back. I really only do 1 episode a month, or a week rather. Again, if I don't, I don't. It's okay. It's okay to not do things sometimes if you just need a break. Just make sure you come back to it. But adjust the plan, you know. Take what's working and make it sustainable. Have a smarter process, have a smarter rhythm, and have a clear focus. Make it easier. So keep coming back to this cycle. Stop, rest, reevaluate, and revamp. It's never going to be a quick fix, but it is going to be a sustainable rhythm for growth and for recovery. And it applies to more than just overcoming burnout. It applies to life as a whole. You need to learn to stop, rest, reevaluate, and revamp in anything that you do. You know, sometimes taking the step back is what you need to help you take the next step forward. You know, everything is always going to lead you to the next level. So use this cycle however you see fit. If it doesn't work for you, or if you want to add steps, or if you want to adjust it, go for it. You know, but this is just what I've learned, what works for me, that I've kind of learned over the course of April.